Hi, this is Garrett from Rhapsody, and you're watching Field Trip. We had this idea to do a show based around meeting new friends and discovering new cool places that have to do with music. Last episode, we visited the Joshua Tree Inn, which is famous for being the final resting place of the singer-songwriter Graham Parsons. And we were shown around the grounds by the innkeeper, this guy Marsu, who was really cool. After that, we packed up the car and hit Route 66 and headed east.
Kiss my ear, said my dear, come see me soon. Naked I am stunning. And when you do come, bring your 6 guns.
Hello guys, welcome to Field Trip. I am Garrett with Rhapsody. Field Trip, as you probably know by now, is a show all about making new friends and going to cool places. And we are in a very cool place right now. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are just a mile away from the famous Las Vegas Strip. But actually, at the moment, we are in a different strip right now. We're actually in a strip mall. And we're about to meet our new friends, and here they are right now. Hey, look, it's Panic at the Disco. Hey, guys.
How's it going?
New friends! Oh, this is great.
Just happen to be hanging out here.
Isn't that weird?
Well, I'm glad you found us.
Me too.
Thank you.
Where are we?
We are at Family Music on Sahara. This is actually where we had our first show as a band.
It's incredible.
Well, we should probably go check it out.
Let's definitely go check
You
it
guys
out.
want to do that?
So here we are, we're up on the stage. What was the vibe like during that first show, do you remember?
It was kind of crazy just because it was our first show. We hadn't really planned one before. We had played for about 5 minutes at my mom's church, but that was about it. So it was kind of the first of everything. We just got a little taste of how it was going to be. And it was awesome. I know Phil had mentioned before, I think we crammed in more people than is actual room for in this room. Yeah. So that was an issue too. It was packed, and that was awesome.
You know, what's that like kind of as a band coming up in Vegas and, you know, being sort of in the shadow of this, you know, big entertainment glitzy thing, but you're kind of growing up in almost a suburban environment, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's very normal. Yeah.
This is like a good example of a lot of venues in Vegas when we were growing up. They would open and be around for a couple of years and, you know, for whatever reason, just couldn't like maintain.
How would you compare the feelings between kind of what was going through your mind for your very first show and like going on an arena tour with Blink-182?
Yeah. Well, you know, very, very different. Very, but you still get nervous. Leading up to going on a tour and even night to night, you know, before you go on stage. And that tends to go away once you get into the first couple songs and you kind of get into, you know, the feeling of the show. But yeah, you know, I was really surprised at how well the show went, the first show here. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like I'm sure we had a decent amount of mistakes and things like that, but you know, overall, it was better than what we were hoping for.
Our members watching this are going to be seeing this in a couple days, and so the album comes out in about 2 weeks. So, what can you prepare us for? What are we going to hear on this album that is different from previous records?
I think that fans that like our previous 2 records are going to hear some of the same influences. Somewhere it falls like in between our first 2 records, and then there's a lot of new influences because it's been 2 years since we made a record. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of new bands that, you know, we were influenced by. So there's a good amount of new stuff that I think doesn't sound like it would fit on either of the other 2 records.
Yeah, that's definitely important for us. You know, we love to just push ourselves to do something we've never done before. So there'll be some new music that we've never tried, which is fun.
And Brendan, you took on all the songwriting duties right this time around. Yeah. Was that a lot of pressure knowing that you were kind of writing for a whole album, and or to just kind of flow, or how was that process?
Maybe at the beginning there was a little bit, but that quickly dissipated because I love writing music, and so that, you know, is the fuel for everything. So because I was actually loving what I was doing, I think it makes a huge difference, and you can hear that in the songs. You know, it's definitely not forced. So I think this time around, though, definitely, you know, had a little bit more responsibility. Before you would just write like a minute-long idea, and then everybody would throw in their opinions and add more stuff to it, which is great. And this time around, it was like, well, they have to be at least 2.5 minutes because we only have 2 opinions now. So we'll see what happens with the way it goes. And yeah, I mean, Spencer and I have been on the same page from the beginning of the recording process, so that definitely helped as well. But yeah, it was just fun writing differently. It's really different.
So we're headed to South by Southwest, and it's going to be, you know, a couple thousand developing, you know, bands who are really anxious to make their mark. And we're here on you know, your first stage, so it's kind of a cool sort of you know, I don't know, I guess my question is, do you have any advice? This is kind of a silly question, but because of the context of South by, what do you kind of tell bands that are starting out who are looking to make their mark on things?
Well, yeah, it's
kind of feel
it's
like a
tough.
new band. So it's
Yeah,
hard to
yeah,
say.
it's tough because we still are so young and like just starting out ourselves. Even though this is our third record, but I don't know. I think just even more and more, you should always just be as true to yourselves as you can be and do exactly what you want, and never compromise with people that it's like you can get to a certain level of success and then all of a sudden you've got a lot of other people that are interested in working with your band. And sometimes it's like you get other opinions in there that weren't necessarily in there when you're writing the music that got them to like you. So you just have to maintain that mentality and understand that like the music that kind of got you where you are needs to have the same mentality behind it that it does, even if you're moving on and getting new fans and
Awesome.
you know.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for being our friends here in Vegas and for
Yeah.
showing us this space. It's been really cool.
Thanks for taking us back here. This is awesome.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure, and good luck
been
with
a
the
few
album
years.
and everything.
Been a few
Yeah.
years.
Now let's go get a meatloaf sandwich at Marie Callender's.
Awesome.